Okay, welcome back, and we're looking at the ongoing protest. It's a protest that's been curiously labeled something protest against bad governance, not against hardship, not against a cost of living, but bad governance. That in itself, that very nomenclature begins to say to you, what is going on here? What bad governance? I mean, it's an opinion, and that everybody is running with that. But we have this protest, and Kaduna Zaria Boyle, over 700 billion naira lost in 5 days. I'm reading from the headline of one of the papers. Military talks tough as pro-Russia rallies spread. Military warns of treason as protesters fly Russian flags. You see, the lamp has been robbed. The lamp has been robbed. The genie has now escaped. How do you get the genie back into the lamp? I guess that's what we're looking at now. Good morning to you, sir. Alhaji Ahmed in Jos.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. How's your day?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to make the best of it.
Yeah.
Let me ask you the question. What do you think is going on? What do you, as a citizen, think is going on?
Yeah, Uncle Yori, let's just call a spade a spade. You see, what is really going on in this country? The level of illiteracy in this country is very high, very, very high. Let's just look at it in some perspective. You see, when we are saying they are protesting for hunger in the country, protesting for hunger in the country, does that require for some people, for a level of some people, to go and to move in a manner of illiteracy, go and bogle some shops, carry a lot of things? Is that a protest? Can we call that a protest? That is not a protest. You see, let me just tell you the truth. The only thing is that we need so much orientation. I don't know what the orientation agency, I don't know what they are doing in this country. I don't know their job. You see, you understand? So we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. If you look at the protest, you will see in the north, you will see all these small young boys that are supposed to be in school protesting for what?
What it's all about.
They are supposed to be under their parents, sure, protesting on the street, bogle shops.
No, okay.
Is that a protest of hunger?
Okay. Alhaji Ahmed, thank you very much for calling in.
So please, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir. We really do appreciate your call. Well, as I said, we have two guests online as well. That is, I mean by that, joining us remotely. There's Ambassador Innocent Nduanya, Deputy President, National Youth Council of Nigeria, as well as Comrade Nelson Ekujimi, that I had mentioned earlier, a human rights activist. Good morning to you, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us. Okay, I'm hoping that you can hear us. Let me try you one at a time. Ambassador Nduanya, can you hear us? Ambassador Innocent Nduanya, can you hear us? Okay, let me try Comrade Nelson Ekunjimi. Good morning to you, comrade. Can you hear us? Okay, it's going to be one of those kind of days. So I'm sure we'll fix that and we'll be able to speak with them. So we have a hunger protest that has been labeled something against bad governance. The president has spoken. And he's...
I can hear you.
Oh,
sorry, I can hear you.
Okay, is that comrade or the ambassador?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, that's Nelson.
Nelson Ekujimi online. I can hear you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Nelson Ekujimi.
Sir.
Okay, let me just check with the ambassador. Ambassador Nduanya, can you hear us? Okay, so we have you. We have you, Comrade Nelson Ekujimi. Well, the same question that I asked everybody else who had called in on this kind of a special aspect to the program is just what is going on now? What started out as a protest, what do we think we have on our hands now? And people At least the president has spoken now, so you can't say you haven't caught the attention of the president. Why isn't everybody going about, why hasn't it been called off yet? And everybody going about their business. What's your perspective, sir? I fear I might have lost you again. Okay, because I just asked a question and you can't have heard. Can I just check that? Comrade Nelson, can you hear us? Okay, so that's the sort of principal question, that is the theme question we're asking.
I can hear you loud and clear. I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Did you hear the question I asked as to what's your perspective as to what...
I can hear you if you can hear me.
I can hear you. So if you can hear me, I asked the question in the light...
I heard you loud and clear.
You didn't answer, sir. Okay, go ahead now and answer, please. What do you think is going on?
Well, I think if we don't, can I go ahead?
Yes, please.
I said, good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning.
If we don't want to belabor the issue, the DSS had alerted Nigerians of, this security of life and property, faceless and unknown organizers of the protests. Even before the protest started, I think Nigerians need to go back to the DSS alert. Then the Nigerian police also followed suit to alert Nigerians that this protest is not about hunger, as been erroneously claimed. It's about people wanting to overthrow a democratically elected government, just like they did in 2020, using the acronym EndSARS, and they failed. The EndSARS protest of 2020 occurred just after the 2019 general elections. Same thing we are witnessing in 2024, the general election. So you can do the arithmetic. The protest has been won.
Thank you very much, sir. That's the second time.
And anarchy.
Okay, that's the second time we've heard that this morning, and it is your prerogative. We'll come back and maybe exploit some more. But in the meantime, Reverend Dominic has called in from Alimosho. Good morning, Reverend.
Good morning, Yore. Can you hear me?
Very well.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you clearly.
Okay, my light is off. Yore, I am surprised about the answer Nelson is giving. But let me give you the answer to the question you're asking. What is going on?
Your perspective.
What is going on is two things. One is ignorance. One is illiteracy. And again, the young boys that carry flags, you don't even know the flag of a nation they're carrying. The answer is no. So ignorance, illiteracy. If you want to get the picture of what's happening, listen to the interview the governor of Kaduna State gave a few days ago. He explained it very well. That what is happening in the north, whether somebody say it or want it to happen that way, or so that, idea, why did he work more in the north than the south or southeast? Ignorance, illiteracy, poverty, and they blame it to the past leaders. So that is by the way.
Well, you can say it's by the way, sir. You can say it's by the way, but what you've just said, what you've just said is leading people to ask, so who are those behind these young, ignorant people that you're speaking about? Who are the people?
Are you talking?
Yes, I was. I was saying, I thank you for your suggestion that this is what is really going on. So who are those that are behind these people? Who is funding the sewing up of those flags that they don't know anything about? They're not even holding them the right way up all the time. Who are those behind it? Reverend Dominic, please continue.
Yes, sir. In any nation, you don't have a opposition party. That nation do not practice democracy. Opposition must have their say. But by not coming, we have the voice of oppositions, which we can hold responsibility, responsible if something goes on. We say this man is that man, so nobody wants to speak again. To avoid saying He is the one who caused the trouble. But a nation that practices democracy must have opposition party. It happened in UK. It is not no more the Labour Party. It's now it's no more the Conservative Party. It's not the Labour Party. They have spoke their voice and they abide the idea and vote the other party out. That's what is the beauty of democracy. But in Nigeria, they're just like you corrected Judge, my friend, to stop calling people's name. We have problem here. We must solve it. But finally, there are two people I did not expect to see in the government of Ashwadi Tinubu in the people of May 29. Number one is former governor. Number two is the CEO of the NNPC. The problem of the economy of Nigeria is in the NNPC. Everyone who works with Buhari in the NNPC must go. I've been stating from the day one. And I said to the president of listening, no matter how they not think about the man here, let me find another person from the north and replace in the next. He said all of them in that chain should go. So we have a new lead of life. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Reverend Dominic. I said that we also have Ambassador Innocent Nduanya on the line. He's Deputy President, National Youth Council of Nigeria. Okay. Ambassador Innocent, good morning to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear us? I just said good morning. Good morning to you, sir. Can you hear us?
Good morning. I can hear you very well.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Now, Ambassador Innocent Nduanya, you are of the organization National Youth Council of Nigeria. In fact, you're the deputy president. So let me ask of you the question, what do you think is going on with this thing that we are calling a protest? Considering all that has transpired, that I don't need to repeat. You, from that Youth Council of Nigeria, what is your perspective? What is your take on what is going on right now?
Well, thank you so much. And I want to say once again, good morning, Nigerians, and especially Nigerian youth, who are the current and the future leaders of this country. Honestly, the Youth Council, under the leadership of our president, we are not happy with the current happening in the country. Nobody, no true citizen of this country is happy with the current situation. The price of everything has escalated. The price of transportation has escalated. It is only a bad person that will say the economy is good. It is only a bad person who does not live in this country, who does not think about the poor masses that will say things are okay in this country. We at the National Youth Council, we are not happy with everything. The price of everything has doubled times 100. The cost of transportation has doubled. The cost of living is on the high side. And most especially, you know, this thing affects the young people mostly. The major victim of what is happening currently in our country is the young people. They are not happy with the system. You cannot be building a system, a country for them, and they start suffering at the very tender age.
Okay, Ambassador, Ambassador Innocent Nduanya, do you endorse the protest the way it is out there now? That's the context in which I asked the question. What do you think is happening? What do you think is happening?
That is why it is good when an early warning information is given, leadership should take correction and get it right at the early stage. You know, when we had our first press conference, we told the president, we gave the president 74 hours to have a meeting with the leadership of Nigerian youth and the protesters. At least they say some of them are not known. Meanwhile, some are known. Shawara is there. Adeji is there, and the leadership of the council are there to mediate on behalf of Nigerian youth. Unfortunately, the people who are doing this protest, some of them, not all, some are doing this protest because they want a better country. But from what is happening since yesterday in some part of the northern country, in the northern part of our country, it is obvious that there are
Ambassador Innocent Nduanya, I understand that there's a network issue and you might not be hearing us. And whereas I understand what Innocent Nduaya, are you back?
When we are
okay.
protesting.
There was the network is a bit shaky. So I heard you. I asked if you endorsed the situation out there now, but forgive me for thinking that you sidestepped the question when you were saying that nobody is happy about the conditions in the country. I agree with you. In fact, we take that as a given. Everybody, it is tight for everybody. But the degeneration into violence, the destruction, the looting, and all of that is going on now, forgive me, but I could be mistaken because you actually said that, well, this is, what you get when people don't heed something. So I just wanted to be clear about that because if I got it right, you are of the National Youth Council of Nigeria. In fact, you're deputy president. And so I just wanted to know what you think about the criminal acts that are going on out there. Is that a matter of regret? Is that a matter of regret for you?
Every right-thinking Nigerian are not happy with the latest developments because what they call it is hunger strike. The people are agitating that things are not going well. But suddenly we saw people flying another country flag in our country. Okay. And that is a sign, and I think it is time to come back for dialogue. The president has already proposed a dialogue, and we are waiting for him. We are waiting for the president to meet with him so that he will tackle this issue once and for all.
All right. Okay, Engineer Daniel, I hear you. One moment. I beg your pardon. Engineer Daniel is on the line. I beg your pardon for interrupting you, Ambassador Nelson. Engineer Daniel in Abuja, good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yes, let me get your take on what this protest has turned to now as a citizen.
Thank you very much, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity.
I
think we must understand something as a country. Most times when things like this happen, we don't go to the root cause of the problem. We keep talking to the symptoms. And so that's why we'll continue from government to government. And the elites are really aware of the real cause of this problem. We have to be frank and brutal to ourselves if we love this country. I think what we have is a serious structural problem with this country. And one, we need to look at our reward system in this country. Two, the elite has to be honest. My happiness is that this thing is really happening at a time where everybody can obviously see that the problem with this country is not change of party or change of government. For example, how do you explain a reward system which keeps explaining to the masses that it cannot afford 70,000 minimum wage, but we see our legislator living as the best, in fact, living the best life they've ever lived since they were born. So these are some of the things we really need to look at. And that's what is causing this protest. Quite frankly, it will be very difficult for you to convince somebody like me that this government cannot afford 100,000 minimum wage with the kind of lifestyle I see our politicians living. Secondly, we need to be honest again to ourselves. There's no need to pretend about this thing. If we are not one united country, let us accept it. It doesn't mean that if I say that I'm not the same person or I don't think the same way like the other person thinks, that I don't respect him. That's not true. So if we continue to force ourselves to accept each other, whereas we are not strong enough to match each other, I think that's going to be another problem.
Okay, I've got to come in there, and I want to thank you very much for calling in, Engineer Daniel. I interrupted you only because we've run out of time, and there still is. So I'm going to come to Comrade Nelson Ekujimi. Comrade, I'm going to put you under a stricture, maybe just in 30 seconds. Give me your takeaway, please. Okay, he's not there. Well, the same thing going to you, Ambassador Innocent Nduaya, Deputy President, National Youth Council of Nigeria. Just sorry for putting you under pressure. In 30 seconds, tell me what you make of all of this, where it has degenerated.
Well, for me, I think the president needs to address this country again. There is need to revert to the subsidy. If he's going to dance this station in our country, the president needs to do that.
To reverse the removal of subsidy. Did I get you right, sir?
For him to say that the price of petroleum has been reduced. Unfortunately, we didn't hear such thing.
Okay.
So the president needs to come on board again and tell Nigerians we have to revise the petroleum subsidy.
But do you know that there is no money for that subsidy? I'm sure you should know that there's no money for that subsidy.
The president just gave 570 billion to the governors after the allocation.
Okay.
There is money everywhere. Our leaders should stop deceiving us. There's money.
All right. We're going to have to leave it there. Well, thank you very much, Ambassador Innocent Nduaya, Deputy President, National Youth Council of Nigeria. And our thanks also to Comrade Nelson Ekujimi, who we've lost. And our thanks to the callers that came in on the program and also gave us their perspectives. Because I don't think anybody can see the road clearly now as to what exactly is going on with this protest that was started off as a 10-day protest against bad governance, which is an interesting caption altogether. But leave that as it is. It wasn't protest against a high cost of living. It wasn't protest against any of that, but bad governance. That's why some people think it was maybe political.